Hello, welcome back to the Purpose and Glow podcast. My name is Pamela, your host. And today I've got another guest to the show. But before I introduce her, I would like to thank everybody, like literally for every video or TikTok, Instagram post, anything that I post on my social media platforms. I'm overwhelmed by the love and support that you guys are giving me, and it's also motivating me to put myself out there and to put out more work like this out there. So thank you so much for the love and support. It is noticed, and I truly appreciate it. So let me introduce my guest. Yeah, I know my guest also for about 10 years now, not about over 10 years now, but we became a little bit closer when we like stayed at the same flats. And from there, we attended each other's baby showers, bridal showers, weddings, everything all together. So please help me introduce my guest, Innocentia. She said I must not call her the other name. I should call her Innocentia. So please help me welcome Innocentia to the episode today. Innocentia, thank you so much for honoring my invitation and coming to the podcast. And yeah, thank you for coming.
Thank you, Pam. And yes, it's Innocentia, Pam.
Okay, Innocentia.
Yes.
It's not the other name.
No, please. Like we said, I've grown up.
A whole married woman.
Oh. But no, it was long overdue.
Okay.
And yes, I did make time. I was like, I've got a big part of this as well.
Yeah, thank
Yes.
you. Thank you guys. See the love and support that I'm receiving on this other side as well. I'm really appreciating. So, Duvi, can I ask you to please introduce yourself, like in very short, nothing over the top, just in short. What would you say? Somebody asked you to introduce yourself. What would you say?
Hi, you see, she already mentioned the name she was not supposed to mention, but it's fine. I'll make peace with it.
I will cut it out.
I made peace with it.
Okay.
It's Pam for me. That's just Pam in my life. In any case, in short, if I have to introduce myself, I'll say Innocentia, aka Duvi.
Okay.
Because that's the name that people have been known for almost all my life. Recently, I tried to know that.
Why do you want to change your name now?
I've grown up.
Oh, a whole married woman.
Funny enough, that name just doesn't appear on my ID.
Really?
It doesn't.
Then how
It's
did...
those house names.
Okay. Yeah.
Yes. Lucky your name, Tofi, is still there on your, what you call it, IDs. My name isn't even on my ID, Pam. But yes, I'll claim it. So yes, very talkative, a
True.
people's person.
100%.
I do get along with a lot of people. I can make quick friends. I talk with anybody. If I need, I have to talk to you. But in a nutshell, a very busybody.
Yeah.
I'm a wife. I guess that's why I'm here. A mommy of one. Girl is how old now? She's turning 3. And then a working mom as well. I've got a very busy job. But all in all, I can say I love people.
Yeah, indeed.
Love,
love that for you. And that's why you're here. I love you so much. You are literally a people's person, like you say.
Yeah.
You are literally somebody that could have a conversation with, like, any given moment. It could be, I could call you to ask you for one thing, we'll end up having a 1 hour conversation.
Yes. I know. And then halfway along the line, like, oops, why did you call me?
Very true. But yeah, before we, okay, Innocentia, before we go into the actual podcast, I would like to ask a few icebreaker questions, yeah? Just for the viewers and the listeners to get to know a little bit more about you. So the first question would be, what's your favorite song?
I won't say favorite song. I've got, like I call them clusters, because my husband always tells it, like, you're the one person. I can't classify you as such person, because I love the golden oldies. Ooh,
Okay.
all the slow R&Bs, those 90s.
Yeah,
Yes. But then certain mornings I wake up and I'd like a deep house.
Okay.
I'd be a fan of a deep house, South African deep house. You just have the instruments in your background.
Yeah.
And then you've got some days that I just go deep, very deep, like a whole day of my Christian music. So I can almost say I've clustered them together,
Okay.
but I'm alike of it all.
So you're not like me who has like a favorite. Okay, but I love songs. I don't
Mm.
have a specific song. I do have my favorite song keeps changing depending on how I feel on the day.
Yeah, that too. It's the mood
Okay.
of how I wake up. Funny enough, my husband always says you always just wake up with a hype every morning. Every
True.
morning you're just the same person. I'm like, you must be thankful. You
Meaning
don't
you're a
find
morning person.
Yes, I would say so.
You're a
I
morning
would say so.
person.
But I do sleep late though. So I don't
Yeah.
know how you explain that. Because morning people are up by 4 or 5.
I
Oh,
think it's the coffee that you drink every day,
oh
every
yeah, no,
night,
I
every
can't without
hour.
it. No, 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 I can't. Okay, I've limited my Pam, don't make me sound like that. I've at least limited, like I said, 2 cups a day. I'm lying. It's 3 cups a day. It's 3 cups a day. Then I know I've made it. You've got the energy that you need to take to carry you the day. Remember, you're a wife
Uh-huh.
and you're raising a toddler and you're working. So where does the energy come from?
I don't have coffee at all, but I'm still a wife. I have a toddler and I still go to work.
But you drink water, most you said.
Yeah, I'm a water
So
person.
maybe the water gives you energy. No, I need the coffee. I need it. Like the first time when I wake up and I arrive at work, people are almost like if I don't talk, like, did you have coffee? I'm like,
Mm-hmm.
I'm busy with it. It's almost half. I'm like, just finish it so your heart can soften. But yeah, so
Yeah. So the other question would be, what's your favorite color and why?
weird enough, I've learned to love the color blue.
Blue. Okay.
And I don't know, my daughter is also pulled to the same color. I've never
Okay.
been a pink girl. For
Okay.
many years, my parents were like, yo, does this girl ever going to turn into a girl? I was like, I've just liked the color blue, but not so dark navy blue. It's mostly the light blue, almost turquoise kind of blue.
Mm-hmm.
Yes, there's where my colors lie. I know a lot of you like, no, blue is for boys. I'm like, okay, it's okay.
Funny enough, blue has been, I think, in the back of my mind, I still love blue. I've
Mhm.
always loved blue since my childhood. Don't ask me why, please, because if you ask me why, it's a very long story, an embarrassing story. But I've always loved blue. My mom even knows, like when I was in the hostel, she would buy me blue blankets, blue everything, because I loved blue. And only now I'm growing, I'm starting to like neutral colors, the beige, the white, the
Oh
grays.
yeah, or these pastel ones that come
Yeah,
out now.
yes,
Yeah.
that's like my, can I call it gem? What do I call it? Those are the
Yeah.
colors that I'm more gravitating to. But in the back of my mind, if I were to pick a color, it will still be blue. But I'm more like on the beige, the neutral colors, because they go with everything. Whether
Yeah.
it's in your house, on you, in your car, everything. Those are like the
Your
neutral colors.
office.
Offers.
Mm.
Those are like the colors that, so I'm more gravitated to that. I think the older I get, the more I'm loving the grays.
We're maturing
Yeah.
into neutral colors. Like maybe you have to go back to choosing colors you mature into that. But yeah,
Mm-hmm. True.
I hear you. I hear you.
Okay. So, Debbie, can you please take us back to the beginning of your love story? Can you please tell us a little bit about your story? Not a little bit, please, even if it's the whole story. We've got enough
Okay.
time.
Funny enough,
Uh-huh.
ne? If I had to look back the other day, me and my husband was like, yo, how many years is it? Because we've known each other since high school.
So your high school
Funny enough,
sweethearts.
yes, we literally, okay, if you want to put it that way, yes, we come all the way from high school,
Uh-huh.
and I'll say that's my matric year
Okay.
because it's the year that we met. I've just moved schools, weird enough. I didn't want to go to the school that I
Mm.
was supposed to, or that I matriculated at.
Uh-huh.
Like I was at academia all my life, and then my mother decided grade 12, you're moving. And I'm like, why? And then I don't like the uniform, it's ugly. So it was all of those things pushing me not to go to the school. But guess what? You don't have a choice. So I ended up there in any case.
Mm-hmm.
So that's the year when I met him.
Mm-hmm.
Funny enough, I didn't like him when I first met him. I was like, oh, he's so cocky. No, no, he's not my type. Oh no, stay away.
Mm-hmm.
And that lasted for about like two full months because he never stopped. He kept
Uh-huh.
on chasing me. And then along the way, I would say we have matured with each other because we were not just high school lovers, we became friends. We are literally the chain of a lot of people will say the high school lover chain. But it's like since high school, and if I have to say, that was in 2008
Mm-hmm.
that we've actually met. It's like we just never broke up. We were just always together. Funny enough, when people got married, they're like a lot of people, because we only got married like 4 years ago.
Uh-huh.
I'm married for 4 years now, Pam. But we've been in each other's lives so long that people would always ask, when are you guys getting married? When are you guys getting married? But I'm like, the time will come, because we both wanted to achieve certain things separately before we decided to take the commitment together. But funny enough, we've been doing it together this whole time, because if I studied, he pushed to study. If I
Yeah.
got a better job, he got a better job. We were this hierarchy of climbing with each other throughout our journey, until we sat down and we told each other, okay, I think it's time now. Or mostly he was like, you are getting married to me now. He's been asking me like almost 5 years before we got married. He was like, would you marry me? I was like, no, you're not matured enough yet. It's like I almost didn't feel like he was at the maturity level that I wanted at
Yeah.
that time. So I was like, no, we're not. Then he's like, okay, but since after he's been every year, we'd have a discussion about whether it's a
marriage,
one day or he'd bring it up, and I'm like, no. Until I was 2019 September. He's like, this year, because at church we had this book where we called My Wedding Before 2020. And he decided we're writing our names in that book. We are getting married in 2020. Come high hell or low waters. Funny enough, we married in December 2020. So it's like he just felt like the year 2020 isn't going to go by until you are my wife. And yeah, we got married.
The guy knew what he wanted.
I guess so. I was the only pushback as usual, because I'm like, I don't think yet. I don't feel yet. And then it's like, no.
No feeling, we are doing it.
We're doing it, because he's like, what are you waiting for? We've been together for so long.
Yeah.
So it was almost like an agreement from his side, but I was like, am I ready for it?
Yeah.
And until he decided, like, he went to my parents, he went to everybody, and he's like, even brought his whole family. Weird enough,
so he did it like the traditional way.
Yes.
Ask your parents
yes.
before even.
Yes, the whole route, because he's like, this woman is playing. I want to marry. But when I was actually thankful for the step that he took, because at the end of the day, it showed to me
that he's matured enough.
Yes, he is matured, and he wants to do the right thing. And I was like, okay, I guess this is a door that I should open to. Like I always said, from school, I've been the difficult one to say, no, I don't want you. No, I don't want to date you. No, I don't think we are ready yet for it. And he was always the pusher to say, this is what we're going to do. Yeah, so long of the short, we got married 26th of December 2020.
Okay, boy, before we come to your marriage and wedding and everything, I want to ask, so since you've been together for like the longest time, I want to find out from you, when did you know that this guy is the one for me?
Honestly speaking, Pamela, like they always said, it's that love spark in the beginning, and that he never ever left me.
Okay.
That he has always been there through the trials and tribulations I've gone through from high school until the day that we got married. He was always the type of guy to stick by me. So I would have almost said it's a feeling that I got since school.
Okay.
But it was always a thing of, are we really ready for it?
Okay.
I don't want to make a mistake. I don't want to marry young like a lot of people would do. Get married very young and
get tired.
Get tired and get divorced.
Making sure he's the right one.
Yes, we don't know how things evolve or develop along the way. So I would honestly say, in the beginning of the whole thing, I loved him. I've been loving him since high school. And that it has only matured and grown even further. Like a lot of people are like, oh, how long are you married? I'm like 4 years, but still feels like I'm in my honeymoon phase. It really still feels like it, because
keep it that way, and it's good because you guys you've known each other for the longest time, and you still feel like you're in your honeymoon stage. So
like every day, like I would sometimes tell him, thank you, like thank you for choosing me. He's like, no, you chose me. So it's almost that back and forth thing where every day we realize, or like he says, we grow in love with each other every day. You know, they've got this funny thing with the old people who say, if you get a pimple right in the middle of your face, it's somebody that really fell in love with you. Fam, I still have a pimple. Like this morning I'm waking up, I'm like, guy, I got a pimple. It's like, it's me. So we've got this
It's
thing
a
where,
God husband.
yes. And the people at work call him that. They're like, you, Anthony, you're like, your wife. There's nobody else we ever hear about except your wife. And I say thank you to God every day because I
Oh,
have really met the love of my life. I've
no.
been dating him and then I'm married to him,
Yeah.
whereas it almost doesn't feel like maybe people, a lot of people say marriage is a lot of work. Funny enough, it doesn't feel like
Like, yeah,
work with him. It doesn't.
because
Yes, it's not perfect. Ooh, people
yeah,
should please still realize it. It's
yeah.
not perfect, but it doesn't feel like work.
Hmm.
It doesn't. It just flows.
So was there like a specific time where he proposed, or like literally like, okay, after agreeing and you're like, after he went to your parents, he did everything that he wanted to do with your elders, was there a time where he officially came and gave you the ring, or when did you start wearing the ring? Or you didn't wear a ring during
No,
your
I
engagement?
did. Of course, I had
Okay.
to. I had to make sure at least so my parents can just calm down. But you know, like how African parents are,
Uh,
you're not allowed to wear your ring until they've approved it or they've given over the wife.
yeah.
Because, funny enough, we're such mixed races. My husband,
Mm-hmm.
father's Nigerian. His mother's a pastor woman from Rebot.
Mm-hmm.
My side, my father is a pastor. My mother is a Sutu Tamara from all the way south because my
Okay.
grandmother is a Sutu woman. So
Mm-hmm.
they just felt we are going to do this whole traditional way.
Okay.
Yes. So even though we wanted to get married and have the whole formal nice engagement, or like most people say, the romantic surprise,
Yeah.
we are married to our parents both sides are old stone age people, whereas they give the approval to allow you to get engaged type of
Okay.
method.
Yeah.
So if I have to take you back to the whole process, they had to come and ask. He had to come and ask with his family, but they also took him through the loops of we first wanted to be introduced to us day
Yeah.
one. So day one is just the introduction. Who are you guys? But don't get it wrong. They've been knowing him for 12 years.
Yeah.
Who are you?
Yeah.
What do you do? Why do you
Mm-hmm.
want our child? Who's your parents? All of
Yeah.
that. And then after that, they went through like 2 days of actually having to ask for my hand. Whereas
Mm-hmm.
halfway in the asking of my hand, my family was like, we're not sure if it's the guy or the whole family that wants this
Yeah.
daughter because they were like, we are not leaving without that woman. We want the woman.
Is it like the play for the Damaras? They do something like that.
Almost similar because, like I
Okay.
said, I'm mixed.
Mix. Okay.
I'm mixed.
Okay.
So yes, my whole Tamara, the whole Tamara Nama, or actually Nama, whole
Mm.
Nama, then Tamara, was all done in my engagement.
Okay.
But when I got married, I was done the traditional Sutu way.
Tutu-way.
Yes, when they
Okay.
gave me over like a Sutu woman would have been given over, because I've got, let me say, both bloods or traditions in my family.
Okay.
So at the Tamara, it was like the whole place, since you would have experienced it at
Mm-hmm.
least once or twice in your wedding planning.
Mm-hmm.
But it was not so in deep because guess what? We got married or engaged during the COVID
COVID.
phase. Yes,
Okay.
which is actually a blessing. Because I'm the only person. It's like you didn't have a lot of people around your house, or it couldn't be big enough because we were limited in any case due to the
Yeah.
COVID restrictions that we have. Financially, I smiled all the way. I smiled from my engagement to my wedding. I've been smiling financially because I'm almost the type of person that people say, "Oh, you're so stingy." I'm like, no, I don't waste money. I
Yeah.
can't.
So how was it like planning a COVID wedding though?
Stressful, but like I said, I loved it financially.
Okay. Why
Um,
was it stressful?
because I'm the type of person that I already booked my venues far in advance.
Yeah.
I've paid deposits on them, and
Mm-hmm.
I'm even such a simple chain. I wanted the venue that did everything. You gave me the hall, you did my deco, you did my catering, you did
Yeah.
my food. I wanted us to show up, enjoy the day, and be
And
gone with it.
yeah.
Like I said, but I think God knew because He gave my family what they wanted. The whole cooking at the house and the flags and everything. So thanks to COVID, they got what they
The
wanted.
aunties, you know.
Yes. And the week that I got married was the week that it was Hage's announcement of 50 people in curfew of 8 o'clock.
Mm-hmm.
So I was like so stranded. Because when he made that announcement, I got married the 26th, was like, I think that week or so, the 20th or something, the Monday or Tuesday, he made the announcement. So now I was stranded because I was still hoping, even though I can still have it at a venue, I will be able to, at least for 50 or 60 people, cater for at the venue. So then I'll just have to cut my list maybe of invitees a bit shorter, and tell the rest of the family, you guys stay stuck. I'll only do it with friends since they can't come to my house. I had to cancel everything.
Everything, yeah.
Because even the
How was
venue
it
told
like
me,
though? What I always wondered what was the feeling like? Okay, I know it from a supplier's point of view, but from a bride's point of view, how was it like canceling? Was it like a good feeling? Was it like a sad feeling? How was it like? How was the
a
emotion?
slight disappointment.
Okay.
But due to the fact that my mentality at that point was like, I don't care what you eat, I don't care where you guys sit. My husband is dressed. I am dressed. The church is booked.
You have the rings.
We have the rings. Whatever come must come. With my mother, they were like, also, I'm like, guys, I'm marrying the man. So whatever you guys decide, do whatever you eat, decide, because now I had to look for a caterer. It's the week of the 25th. And it's, remember, it's Christmas. It's Christmas week. And it's December. I've got no suppliers available to me. I've got no caterers available to me. We even ran around because I didn't know where my family got pots. But they got pots to cook in. They got tables for the people to sit. I do not know. But all I told my family members is I got my deposits back, thank God. All my deposits that I did pay was refunded back. And the only person I could say I successfully paid and didn't get a refund back was my photographer.
Did you have a good photographer though?
Oh, I did. Yes.
Because I'm very big on photography. So,
funny enough, it's like I said, I know so much people. I think it's due to my talking.
Yeah.
A cousin of mine is a photographer, Nathan Photography. So since he's a family of mine, photographing me this whole weekend, and he did it the whole weekend.
Okay. Did you get your pictures?
Oh yes, all of it.
Love them.
The nice part of having family doing the things for you, I got my raws and I got my edited. Yes, so I got the whole 200 or 300 pictures.
You should consider yourself blessed because of the horror stories we hear. I haven't seen and experienced myself. So you should really consider yourself blessed to get the raws and the edited and get them in full and on time.
And I even got them, with the canvases and watches and stuff like that.
You got watches?
Yeah, it's like a clock.
With your picture in it?
Yes, our picture in it.
That's beautiful.
It is, I know.
That's really considerate, and it's family, and they came through.
They did.
Because family don't usually come through.
Okay, they don't, but I think my family knows me.
They
so yeah, they don't try.
I had.
Yeah, but no, he came through, I must say it.
Yeah.
And he does it very well. And the one thing he also understands maybe about my nature, my photos are not over edited.
Okay.
Yes, a little bit light.
I've seen your pictures,
yes,
so so I'm like, he has done a good job, and congratulations to him also for just delivering. Just the fact that he delivered
during COVID, and not too bad. It was like 2 weeks after my wedding, I think, 2 weeks or so. The only thing that did take time, because he doesn't have his own supplies, was my canvases. And, I think he gave me like 4.
Did you pay him though?
It was part of the package.
Okay. No, did you pay him not for the canvases, like just
for
to come as a supplier?
No. Yes.
Okay.
I paid him, like I said.
Okay, then he's really a professional.
No,
like he knows how to make a difference between personal and professional, though he's dealing with relatives.
Yes, he does.
Okay.
Because he's been the only photographer for the longest. He did my engagement.
Yeah.
He did
them.
Yes.
Loved them. So cute.
Yeah, he did my engagement. He did my swap up wedding. Because I had 2. Since you first have to get married in court before you can get married in church. Like I said, the Lord really loved this wedding, this relationship. Because my uncle married me. In swap. Yes. And then I did the church wedding here in Windhoek. He was also the photographer on it. And then he became my baby's photographer, my maternity
everything.
Yeah, he's just been there.
No, he's a professional. Then you should keep him. He's a keeper.
Of course, I've I've been keeping him. I've not run to anybody else. It's like I'm telling him, maybe I must let him know next are coming. It's been a while since I've done photos.
Yeah. What was your favorite moment at your wedding?
When I said I do. Funny
Did you
enough,
cry?
of course I did, Pam,
Why
because it
though?
was almost like I almost felt like due to all the stress of COVID and is it gonna happen? How many people are gonna be in church? But when I realized what's important,
Mm-hmm.
me, my husband, and our union in church,
Mm-hmm.
it became so surreal for me at that moment when, like a lot of people, like I
Everything.
prepared photos, slideshows in church, and what and what.
Do it for
Pema,
you.
can I be honest with you?
Uh-huh.
I can't remember one of those things. I like after the wedding ceremonies, I'm sitting in the camera. Guys, did the slideshow play? Guys, were the people there in front? Where was who? That's how surreal it was around me.
Because we are
Like,
in the moment.
yes. And I was literally the only focus was when I walked down the aisle was
Mm-hmm.
my husband and then the vows we say to each other because that bishop also made sure we don't repeat.
Yeah.
We had to say our own
Own vows.
vows.
Okay.
And after us repeating our vows to each other and realizing that they're on the altar after 12 years, we did the right thing and we had this union together. I think that was the perfect moment for me.
So 12 years together before you got married, and now you're married for 4 years. Ah, beautiful. Beautiful, really. I say that because many a times they say if you've been together for the longest time after you get married, things change. That, but you have been saying that you are growing more every day, and more in love with one another. So
Yes,
that's so beautiful.
it
What's the
is.
secret?
Friendship, Pam.
Oh.
Friendship.
You guys
Because,
communicate a lot. I remember the other
yes.
day when we went for the parents' meeting,
Oh,
you guys
yes.
came to park next right to my car, and you guys were laughing. I was like, what are they still laughing at? Because I'm like, that is so beautiful. That was beautiful to watch. That was really beautiful to watch.
Yeah. Now we've learned friendship.
Okay.
Before we got married,
Mm-hmm.
we were the closest of friends, or we just had each other.
Mm-hmm.
So when we officially got married, it remained.
Yeah.
That's important that I think people that are married
Mm-hmm.
or wants to get married, the dynamic should never change.
Change.
There's a reason why you guys made the
Chose each
decision.
other. Yeah.
Chose each other and made the decision to
To get
get married.
married. Yeah.
There's a certain reason why. If that could be we want to do the right thing, we want to be together. There's a reason that pulled you guys to get to this decision. So it's for that reason that you remain married.
Mm-hmm.
The one thing, like it's easy to say, communicate with each other, talk with each other, but we've never changed the dynamic that we had before.
Okay.
We've worked hard to keep each other in the 12 years. And that's for us changing the way you communicated, change the way you dressed, you carried yourself because you wanted the other person to remain in your life. Now, why change that hard work when you got married?
Married, yeah.
It's almost like a lot of people forget that when you get married, you still gotta make yourself look nice every
Yeah.
day,
Yeah.
look pretty every day.
Yeah.
When
Go
he
to the
walks out of
gym.
the house, you'll be like, where you going? I'm like, to work. I'm like, looking like that? I'm like, yes. I'm your wife. I'm representing you.
Exactly.
I always said, I'm your wife. I'm representing you out there. Then he's like, you? Okay, I'll decide when I come back because he usually drops me at work, drops the kids, and then he'll go to the gym. Then he's like, yo, I saw that outfit this morning. Now I gotta compete with it when I get home. But yeah, all in
Friendship.
all, it's a friendship.
Okay.
Yeah. And it must remain as such. Because, funny enough, if you look at best friends, what do
Mm-hmm.
best friends do? When you have a problem, or you need a shoulder to cry on, or you have a complaint or frustration, who do
Something
you go to?
exciting happens in your
Yes.
life, an achievement or something. You
If
just
you
want
have
to share it with.
your best friend,
Uh-huh.
let's take the scenario out of, we'll take girls' best friends or guy best friends.
Uh-huh.
They talk a lot if you put two best friends together.
Uh-huh.
Now, if people that are married do the same to each other, really have your husband as your best friend,
Mm-hmm.
it will be the first person you call if you have an achievement, the first
100%.
person if you've got sad news,
Yeah.
exciting news, an accident that
A
happened,
challenge,
a
anything
challenge,
that,
anything. He's the
yeah,
first person to call. Even though sometimes half of the time he's like, just listens. He
yeah,
doesn't even give you a solution.
yeah,
Halfway through you talking, you got your
yeah.
same answer. You're like, okay, thank you for listening.
That's all.
That's
That's all you
all.
needed.
That's all.
Yeah.
Because maybe you had your own solution. You just needed to share it with somebody to understand it.
Or just to
And
hear you out,
and
or just
that's
to
the
take it
thing.
out of your system.
At the end of the day, like I said, people, friendship is the basis of your whole marriage.
Mm-hmm.
Otherwise, then I don't know why to get them. I mean, like a lot of people say it's called formality because you'll be frustrated, but share your frustration with an outside
Yeah.
person. Or you'll be excited, but first share your story with your mother before you share
Mm-hmm.
it with your wife,
Mm-hmm.
or share it with a father before you share it with
With
your
your husband,
husband.
yeah.
But unfair. Oh, yeah, friendship. Eh?
Beautiful. Well said. I love it. Love it, really. Because most of the people tend to go to communication. Probably that works for them. But I love the fact that friendship works for the both of you. Love it. And keep on the friendship. Can I say that? But yeah.
Yes, it's more or less the yeah. Continue being best friends.
Yes,
Continue
but you
being best
didn't tell
friends.
me why you cried though. Oh, you said everything put
Oh yes,
together,
it was everything
overwhelmed.
put the whole surreal moment because, like I said,
Okay, I
it
think you
wasn't.
did mention,
Yeah,
but
I
yeah.
did. It's almost like I said, COVID was difficult. Difficult because now we have got this plans to get married. We don't know how we're gonna get there because I'm as hoping the government restrictions allow it.
Yeah.
But I'm like, without the government restriction, even if I just had to take my husband and it's me, my husband in the past at the other side of the table,
You
I
were
was
still
gonna
get
get
married.
married.
Uh-huh.
We were not gonna move the date because my engagement date got moved on almost like for a whole year. It was
Mm-hmm.
supposed to be beginning of the year, then a lot of rushes came, and then we moved
Mm-hmm.
it to the middle of the year. Then we
Mm-hmm.
got to September. Then I told my mom, "Mm-mm."
Probably that's why your husband was like, you know what, this year we're getting married because he saw how the engagement date was being
Yes, every
postponed.
time.
And I should also is it to thank you where I say that thank you for not changing your dates because I've seen a lot of people that change their dates
Due to little things that pop up
like
now.
such as having how many people for a wedding. They have their own reasons. They are allowed. They could do that.
Mm.
Nothing wrong with that. But I love the fact that you didn't want to change. You picked a date, and then you went through with the date, even though there were restrictions and all that,
Obstacles,
obstacles,
cancellations,
cancellations, and
and stuff.
everything
Yeah.
happening.
Funny enough, and my wedding was actually weirdly beautiful. Weirdly, I call it
Oh,
because I don't know whether the table settings were not my color. The whole background I had was not my color. But at the end of the day, I just
it
said, "Look,
didn't matter to you. You're like I'm married, like a whole married woman.
if I could do this the whole time, I would have done that to everybody that walked." They were complaining, I didn't get coaching. I'll take a whole six pack and I'll give it to you. Oh, thank you. I'm like, okay. I didn't get meat. I'll walk to the pot.
Wait,
I'll
in
carry over
your
the.
wedding, guys?
Yes, I did that. My mother just looked at me and my aunts. I'm like, people's stresses. I don't have time. I'll just
Yeah.
give you. And I'll even do the bad and carry the whole pot to you. You'll just stop asking me. I think after the meat lady, the rest of the people didn't ask me questions anymore.
But
Because they
why were the
realized,
people coming to you though?
it's come up because due to the fact my ceremony was an hour. If I have to think of it now.
Mm.
Black people, we were like, try and make the venue earlier because I got married at 12.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, arrived at church at 1 hour. Because it was almost a thing like you at the house, we're all dressed. And I was even the bride, they dressed everybody. My makeup artist, Dio, was like, where is your hairdresser? I'm like, guy, it's the 25th. Who's going to do my hair?
Yeah.
So Dio was like, but I'm like, don't stress, do the makeup. I'll show you, I look perfect when I'm done.
Yeah.
So I did my own hair on my wedding day
Uh-huh.
because I did go to my hairdresser and then she told me, I'm fully booked. She suddenly had issues. But I
Yeah.
told her, just
It's
do the
okay.
hair.
Uh-huh.
I'll figure it out, but I'll style it as such. So she
Yeah.
did my hair. And in the morning of my wedding, I took out, I made my curls. I even made them with a straight. I made my own curls. I went to sit. My makeup artist put on my makeup, and she's like, "Oh, but it comes get together so perfect." I'm like, I
Uh-huh.
told you, I'm marrying that man today. I'm not going another day. I'm marrying that man
Was
today.
that your wedding?
Yes.
I don't remember all this.
Like I said, Pam, it was such a rush. Let me put a little cherry on top of the cake. My mother, the mother of the bride.
Uh-huh.
I called, oh, we at home. I dressed my sisters because I didn't want a wedding party.
You dressed your sisters.
Oh yes, I did that too. I'm that bride, Pam. Don't worry, don't worry. I'm that bride. I dressed my sisters and made sure they had because they had the infinity dresses, so I tied their
Yeah,
bows on the
I
infinity
remember.
dresses,
Yeah.
checked their hair, and forced everybody to go sit by my makeup artist as well because she'd be like, "I'm done." The next person, I'm like, "Go sit,
Uh-huh.
go sit." So yeah, I was there directing everybody, and then because I was the last person that to actually make up and took time on. So while I made sure that everybody's makeup was done and my brides had the dress, the photographer is like, "Now when am I photographing you?
You.
You're running around." I was like, "Okay, sorry, let's start. Where do you want my shoes?" So I helped the photographer also put everything in place so she
Yeah.
could just take pictures in the room.
Yes.
Because the room where the bride was supposed to get dressed, I was dressing everybody. It's COVID, guy. I gotta get to church. Please don't waste my time.
Yeah.
And then when I got back, dressed my bride, then I found out as I'm
Mhm.
there. According to me, I only had two wedding party individuals, my two sisters.
Yeah.
My husband didn't even have men.
Yeah.
He had his mother.
Yeah.
It was him and his mother.
Mhm.
I came with the longest wedding party you can think of, where I don't know where they came from. They dressed themselves, which is all my brother's kids. They had my color of my wedding. I don't know where they got outfits. I don't know where they got shoes and stuff. We in COVID, man. Shops are half of the time closed.
Yeah.
But they got outfits and they all look the same. I kept on looking at this. I'm walking out of the house. I'm like, who dressed you guys? When did you get
Where
dressed?
did this all come from?
So, and I'm telling you, from the little girls, the
Mhm.
flower girls,
Yeah.
up to the eldest one, because it was only my cousin's kids, my brother's kids, and my cousin's kids that walked.
Mhm.
And then it was my two sisters, because that's the only people that I have actually planned having in my wedding party.
Okay.
And when I got to church, even my brothers were dressed. So I was like, yo, they maybe realized this woman doesn't care about us. We gotta
Let's
sort
do
ourselves
it.
out.
But did you communicate that with them?
No, I
The
didn't. I think they all just heard what is my wedding
color
color.
and
Talk about brother of the mother of the bride. I'm busy putting on my, because I had a tiara.
yeah.
Busy putting on my tiara. I'm about to walk out. My mother calls me. I'm stuck here in the shop. I didn't find a dress. What should I do? I'm like, woman, where are you? We are busy leaving the house. I mean, through words. I'm like, what dress did you see that you like? There's a dress. I'm like, just take it. But just take the dress and get here. When I got here, she wanted one that fit with my wedding color. She got the
Because she
morning
wanted to be part of the bridal party, like written, you know.
join, the whole one. She got a dress the morning of my wedding. She went to buy a dress. And she
Why the morning though? You
I
don't
don't
know.
know. I
She was
don't
probably
know.
busy organizing everything.
Maybe I guess so
Like,
because she was very busy that whole
mm-hmm.
wedding.
I know how
She
mothers are.
she was the one that went to find tables and chairs. Like I don't know where. I just asked afterwards, are there any people that I need to pay?
Eh,
Because there's a lot of things that
I
I've
didn't,
seen
yeah,
here that I don't know where you got it from. Because I just gave up. You guys are going to sit on black chairs. I
yeah.
was going to give you each a plate of food. And I was going to get in the car and go with my husband.
You're like me. All I want to do is get married.
I'm meeting the guy. Whatever you guys' plans are, he's dressed, I'm dressed, the pastor's waiting for us, and the church building is
And you
there.
have the rings, most importantly. You're
I've
like,
got this. We are going. And fun enough with him also, he was also the person that carried his own rings. Like my husband didn't have he carried his rings in
He
his
didn't have a
pocket.
best man.
No, he had his mother. Blessed enough, like a lot of people are like, who signed for your wedding?
Yeah.
Our mothers.
Both. Oh, so your mom
So
signed
my
for
mother
you,
signed for me,
and
and
his
his
mom
mother
signed
signed
for
for him.
him.
So like now imagine if you have to go back. Usually they say when you have disagreements in the marriage, go back to the people that married you guys for advice. They're going back to our mothers. And then they also have to think the elders must be called for the wedding to talk what is the problem here. They also always have those things.
Mm-hmm.
We have to go back to our mothers. In any case, it wasn't planned, it just happened. Like it just happened, and then we went ahead with it.
Mm-hmm.
Because for us, it is a blessing. We both had our mothers because we his father was very far, and his mother has raised him alone all his life. So he had his mother, and I had my
He has
mother.
a close relationship with the mom.
Yes, his mother's only child.
Oh. So what if there could be anything that you would do differently about your wedding? What would it be and why? Would you change anything though, or did you
No.
love the outcome?
At the
Having a
end of
more.
the day, my wedding was a pull together of all family members.
Okay.
Everybody had to
Came
jump
through.
in.
Okay.
Like, if you were related to me, you had no choice but to jump into this wedding. Because
What do you mean by jumping in?
I was not gonna care what you guys eat. I was not
Okay.
gonna care where you guys sit. I was not gonna care where the venue would be.
Uh-huh.
If I have put down my foot to say, I'm getting married, I'm doing this, whatever happens after this, it's not my problem.
Okay.
So my family knowing when I have made that decision,
Mm-hmm.
whatever happens afterwards, it's okay. Whatever comes, let's let it go, let it flow. So everybody jumped in to have this thing,
Yeah.
and it was the week of my wedding that I had to cancel my wedding venue. Blessed enough, I got back all my deposits and my refunds that I've paid. But I was like sitting with this money, not knowing what to do with it. Then I told my elder sister, here you go. My mother ran around, I gave her money. So they went, they did shopping so there can be food for the people to eat. My mother and my sister ran around to do the deco and get chairs and tables and stuff in order. Funny enough, they even had to go find cutlery and crockery because I had nothing. Like everything was at my wedding venue. So I had 3 days, hopefully, to figure out to have things enough. And in my head, I'm like, it's just 50 people. Who's got plates? You bring 10, you bring 10, you bring 10. Who've got glasses?
Yeah.
Even if the glasses are different shades of colors on this table, I'm at the point where we want to do the right thing. We are going to do the right thing.
Yeah.
This date isn't going to change.
Regardless of what happens. It's beautiful. I say beautiful because of how nowadays, especially the couple or the bride and the groom, are not focused on what actually is going on rather than the wedding itself and not what they're getting themselves into.
It's very easy, Pam, to get lost in all the arrangements.
Yes.
You don't have lovely wedding planners like Tofi. It is overwhelming for the bride. It's very overwhelming. And at the end of the day, you guys disagree more because things are not flowing or happening the way it should. But what I think brides and grooms should understand that at the end of the day, we can't control everything.
True.
What's important, focus only on that, which was for us to get married.
Yeah.
And for us to have our vows blessed in and have our rings consecrated was far more important for us than feeding people or having a venue to sit at. If it was for us just to go to church and from church to go sit in Spur, I would have done it gladly, Pam.
Yeah, come from church, go take pictures. After pictures, you're going to stay.
I would change my outfit and wear another dress and go and sit in Spa and eat and then go home. I would have done it because the important part has been catered for.
Okay.
That's where we would have ended up at the end of the day because the bride and the groom sometimes get the lines fading or along the way not understanding why at the end of the day are we doing this. We are doing this because we want a union. Other things are not important. If you are there, your witnesses is there. That's why I said if I could before, I would. For people to go have, if you don't have the finances for it, there's no need to delay it. Go to court, get it done at court, get it registered, go to a church or a pastor, even if it's in an office, have it blessed and consecrated. And then whatever comes, if you want to have one big party at the end of the day, you can have it. Like a lot of people would ask me, so are you going to have now like family members? Are you going to have the big wedding now because yours was a little? I'm like, no, I'm not. I'm going to eat up my money. I'm going to go abroad. I'm going to go find some blue waters along the line and find peace and tranquility.
When the water is so blue, so blue. Okay. No, wait. I want to ask. So, for somebody that had venues booked, everything booked, and then later just to be changed during the week of the wedding, do you think that it was a blessing, or do you think, I don't know how to phrase this, because you wanted to have something big, right? Venues, what were booked, and then later on, everything was changed due to COVID, the regulations and restrictions, everything. but then it was changed. Then you ended up liking the what happened after. So I want to ask, how was it like? I don't know how to ask that. Do you think it was worth it? I don't know how to phrase this, but from somebody that came from planning, having venues booked, everything, to not even knowing that you had table setups and everything, how was that like?
Like talking about it now, like they always say it's a sibling thing that we call it, ne? Siblings laughing and making fun of their past dramas.
Okay.
But then today it's a big joke. If you have to think back of it, you just laugh about it. And that's the same if I have to think of my wedding day. I'd like telling my husband, yo, I heard the people were fighting about meat. Who fought about meat? I'm like, I got no idea. I was in the room, closed in in the room,
Yeah.
because the brides are closed in the room. They're not supposed to see the groom or any family members in the house. You're just locked up in the room. So along the line, I would say it was fun,
Okay.
because what I've seen at the end of the day that came together, I laughed it, because my family, I can say, at the last moment when it counted the most,
They
they
came
all
through.
came through and they
Okay.
came together, and there was a nice, I'll almost say my reception was a nice chat and laugh conversation. Like you almost have a house.
So it's like a big party to
Yes,
say.
yeah, like a big bride. That's the word. My
Ah.
wedding's reception was a big bride. The only nice thing, at least this time you had tables. If it was really a bride, you're gonna sit with your plate on your lap, and I was gonna be
Be
at
okay with
peace.
it.
I was
Nah.
gonna be at peace, Pam, because, like I said, myself and my husband realized that we and our union was more important
Important.
for us than all the other stuff that comes with having a nice wedding day. I really do see beautiful weddings. You do post them a lot. So I see very beautiful weddings and wedding venues, and it's a nice to have.
Don't you sometimes feel like, I wish I had this at my wedding?
No,
Nah.
I'm really like, no.
Nah. So,
Because I'm counting how much the flowers would cost. You, that would be money in my pocket. Oh, how much the walkway
accounting
would cost.
people.
Oh, that could be money in my pocket. I can decide if I'm going to take a trip to Greece with that money. Let's go build some memories. Then having flowers that tomorrow they are going to wither. But don't
Flowers are
give.
beautiful
They're very beautiful. I will lie you not. It's very beautiful
and
to the
pleasing
eye.
to the eye.
Yes, it
Aesthetically
is.
pleasing.
It's beautiful. I like that. And don't get me wrong, I ooh and ah a lot.
Yeah.
And I love watching them. I love watching weddings. I'm even signed up to your page, to Namibian weddings, to all the photographers that does weddings. And I look at them, my dear. And like I'm saying, I'm the silent
But you
stalker.
still love how your wedding turned out.
At the end of the day,
At the end of the
I've got
day.
no regrets, Pam. Even though it wasn't all flowery and beautiful, ne? At the end of the day, like I said,
You had
because
fun.
I had fun.
You enjoyed it. Highlight of the
Yes.
day.
Oh, and funny enough, did I tell you I couldn't even have a honeymoon? My honeymoon was in Windhoek, but we call it. We went. What hopping? Like people who go club hopping. We went hopping through hotels. Because we started off at safari, we were drifting around there alone. There's nobody booked. It's just us. And then we're like, okay, we're tired of the food. We booked, we checked out, we went to AM Weinberg. 2 days and a half, I'm like, this money we can go eat at home. And then we packed up and went home. So for 5 days we were around here in obvious hotels, honeymooning in the hotels while everybody's locked up in their homes. We are drifting around in a hotel. It's like you're walking, you go into an elevator and you see a body moving, you check, is it somebody? No, it's a cleaner. We go sit at the pool. The pool is clear and clean.
Yeah.
It's just the two of us at that pool. It's like the people even knew us. Oh, hi, the wedding couple. We're like, hi. Because we're the only guests they were catering to. And if they came one, it was like one, maybe foreigner, but like the same day he checked in, he checked out the next day. It's just us walking around in the foyers.
And they wouldn't mind whether you're, because they're like,
The wedding couple is booked in for a week. But yeah, it was nice because the Saturday when we checked in, I checked in with my whole wedding gown and everything and got to the room. Okay. Then the next morning we had to go because it was the taking of the bride out of the house. Yeah. And that was also done the whole traditional way. Yeah. So like we're getting in the cab, they're looking at us. Where are they going? We're like in the car just for us to come back in the afternoon again. I went out with a normal looking dress, coming back in a whole suit attire. So the people
pictures. I want to see
yes, I do. I do. I'll gladly share it with them. I'll share a picture of my wedding day and I'll share a picture of the traditional outfit.
And also how you were looking. You spoke about the hair and the makeup, so we want to see.
And it's like I said, I'll show you the wedding picture. Yes, I'll gladly show you. I became my own hairdresser. Like my hairdresser was laughing because she's like, "How did you pull it off?" I'm like, "Girl, I told you just do the hair. I'll go style it. I'll go style it and get married."
But you looked very pretty,
Oh,
even with a crown.
Yes.
I'm like, I wouldn't even know that you had to do it yourself.
I did my own curls
Imagine.
in the mirror. It's why I said my makeup artist was looking at me like this. I'm like, girl, don't ask. Don't ask.
So you wouldn't even change anything because this is so different.
It's the experience. People don't understand.
The experience was beautiful that and mattered. That's why you didn't care what other thing happened, whether people ate or not. That didn't matter to you. Whether people had meat or the flower decor, whatever what was happening, that didn't matter to you.
But considering now, if I have to look at the plate that the people eat, it was a braai plate. It was 2 salads, a chop, a wash, and a chicken wing.
So it was a big braai.
It was a braai. I had a braai in a backyard. Oh yeah, because my venue was a backyard even. But do you understand the experience I had at the end of the day? I enjoyed it.
It's beautiful and it's different.
Yes, it is.
And it's so different. I've never had.
It's almost like people will say I was given lemons and I made lemonade.
Yes.
Out of my wedding day.
That is just really beautiful.
People are like, oh, but it wasn't nice. There wasn't this. There wasn't that. I'm like,
it didn't matter. What matters is that you got married and
yeah. A lot of people also angry. Why was I invited? Guy, COVID. That's the answer. Like,
so, Dubi, thank you so much for sharing your experience, how beautiful your big braai was, or wedding braai rather. What has marriage taught you in the past 4 years? Patience. Okay.
Patience. Because as I'm a talker, I'm also a doer. I push and patience and focus.
Okay.
Patience and focus, I can say. Because people that are tend talkative and people's person have a tendency of not prioritizing or grouping stuff accordingly. Since you're so used to, I've got a whole crowd to get,
and you're on the go every time.
All the time. Whereas with my husband, he is, I can say, a very private and personal person, whereas for him, it's take time in a decision that you take. Look at it properly. I usually
I understand.
so deep.
Okay.
Also a pusher to a certain extent. That's why maybe we complement
each other.
Because when he's a pusher, I pull back in one and that's because he taught me. Then when I'm pushing, he pulls me back. So I can almost say we have this balancing act. Being patient to watch each other's needs because he's whole in IT, I'm all into finance, and being an IT person, you're so focused on having this task in front of you done or completing a certain thing at a time. Whereas me in finance and being an office manager, I'm focused. I've learned to compartmentalize everything, but still give everything attention at the same time. But my marriage or my union has taught me patience.
Okay.
Take things calmly, do them calmly, and finish a task. And as well as it has also taught me to listen more to my husband and not just be the talker. Because being a talkative person, you always have the tendency of never listening to what the other person is saying. Yeah. You want to give you advice constantly because you're so used to talking. You are so used to talking alone or talking more and never stop making a thing about yourself and actually learn to compromise for your significant other as well. So I must say those are trends I've learned a lot and I've also learned to trust on my husband a lot.
Okay.
because being also an independent woman, because I was raised by one, we have a tendency of wanting to do things ourselves, used to doing things ourselves,
Yeah.
because when we got married, we were both financially independent, myself and my husband. So
Mm-hmm.
I was so used to doing everything myself,
By
from my
yourself.
finances to fixing something in a house. I
Mm-hmm.
won't have a problem to getting up on a chair and changing a
The
bulb.
bulb, yeah.
But my husband has taught me that. Leave it, I'll do
Do
it.
it.
Women don't understand that you offend your significant other if you do things like that. Let
Because
him
you've
do
got to
it.
allow them to be a
Yes.
husband.
Let
Do
go,
what the
let
things they're
flow.
supposed to do.
Yes.
Hey, I
That let
love
go,
that.
let flow. He'll do it. And weird enough, even if he does it a week later or a day later than you would have wanted it to be done,
Mm-hmm.
when he does it, it feels more rewarding than you having to force him. He did it. You even be shocked. Thank you for changing it. You're even thankful at the end of the day. So I really do understand, Wade. Allow your husband to do things for you. Let him do it. He's the leader. He's the head of the house. We shouldn't take all up. Let him do it. It's nice. It is. Now that I've laid it, I always
Uh,
tell the people when they ask me, because I've got an iPhone, my daughter's got a tablet, the TV, everything is connected. I don't know how it was done, Pam. When they're like, but who set up, people, the guys at work were like, but Miss, who set up your phone? I'm like, I don't know, my husband did.
uh,
Who set up the car? I
my
don't know, my
husband.
husband did.
Yeah.
They're like, yo, I'm like,
Husband,
guys, my
everything.
husband does everything for me. When it comes to tech, my husband does it. My
Mm.
computers, he sets them up so I can just work on it. My phone, he sets it up.
Make it easier for
Yes,
you
he
because you've
does.
allowed him to play his part of take up the role of being a husband.
I do like my husband, love my husband a lot for that, because he had to bend me to get there.
Okay.
It wasn't a thing that just happened.
Overnight,
No. The
yeah.
first day I'll be like, get off the chair. I said get off, but I can do it. Get off from the chair now. Then angrily, very angrily, I'm getting off the chair. Then I'm sitting on the couch waiting for him to do it. Then he's like, I'm not going to do it now. And then he walks away. And then inside of me, I'm boiling because I'm like, but why can't you do it now? He's like, I said I'll do it.
Yeah.
And then later I'll come back and I say, oh, you did it. I'm like, oh, you did it. He's like, I said I'll
I'll
do
do
it.
it.
You just have
Yeah.
to wait.
Uh,
So really, he has taught me patience, and he has also allowed me to let go so he
mm-hmm.
can do for me,
Mm-hmm.
which I can say again, independent women, we are the cause of most of our fights in our relationships.
Chips, yeah.
Because we are used to being the men and we don't give that role over for our husbands to be for us.
To step down so that he can take charge.
And it's nice.
Yeah.
Like you always see this girl, I say, whoa, my husband. It's very nice.
Are you the type of wife, my husband, this, my husband, my husband, my
Yes.
husband, my
Woo,
husband?
like people at work are almost like, it's only you that's married. I'm like, yes. I don't know about you.
How is it being like transitioning from just being the two of you to now being a mom and being parents?
It's evolving
Okay.
for both of us.
Then being a wife, being a mom, and being a young career woman.
Compartmentalizing.
Just
Is that word? Everything.
okay.
Like when you're at work, give work the time you must give it.
Mhm.
But when you leave work, give the time to your husband and child because they need it. Or give your time to your toddler.
Yeah.
When toddler is stuck into bed, give that time to your significant other.
True.
Because that's the only way we'll be able to stay sane as wives and mothers, because our significant others really needs our attention. They do too. Like our toddlers demands our attention. Our work expects our attention fully for them as well. So it's just be able to put everything in their own little box and attending to that box when you're in that time frame. So if you're at work, let it be work only. If you're at home, let it be home only. And if you're with your husband, let it be your time only. We will go mad.
Any last word of advice that you'd like to give to the listeners and the viewers as well?
Marriage, union is beautiful, people. It is. It's a learning curve every day, but when you guys do it together, it's just beautiful. And don't make wedding marriage sounds like work. It's not. Find your best friend and grow in love with each other. Don't fall in love with each other, because when you fall, you can fall out of love. But when you have found your best friend, it's almost like a friendship. You grow it every day. You know what's important in that relationship for you to work on that. Because if you two are happy with each other, your child will automatically feel that back, or all the people around you would also feel it.
So you've had it, guys. You see why how our one question phone call turns out to be an hour. She could go on. Literally, we could go on and on and on and on. But now, because we have to go to work and get busy because we are wives, mom, working girls, we need to go to work. If you've come this far, thank you so much for listening till the very end. Guys, in the next episode, ciao ciao.